Hi everyone, I'm in my car today because I'm off to the Kia show of the new Niro EV. I've been invited to go and have a look at this new vehicle. Should we be worried about it? Is something Tesla's going to need to worry about it? Or will it run alongside all the other EVs that are out there? And is Tesla still going to be ahead, or is that going to really cause damage to them? Last year, they came second in the UK towards Tesla. Tesla came first, they came second. So there could be a problem, but we're going to find out. We're also going to ask some questions. I'm going to be finding out whether they've got over-the-air updates, because that is pivotal to how a car can update and get stronger and wiser in the marketplace, even though it's getting older. So those will be questions I'll be asking. I want to know about the battery, if it's going to be how that's run. Can you charge it 100% or less, or how that's going to work? So there's a good few things we're going to be checking. And one of my good friends, EV Mark, was at the show, didn't know he was going to be there, and he locked me in the boot. So stay to the end to see that. That'd be worth staying for. And we're going to have 3 people taking part with the questions. We've got Matt, who's going to give us a walk around, because we're going to see how, in his own words, all about the car. We're going to look at Tom, who is technical, and we're going to look at the press officer, Daniel, and they're going to help us, and Jemania, who actually invited me to the event, actually run everything like clockwork. So thank you very much, Jemania. We're going to go and check all this out, and we're going to look at everything right now.
Mal's back talking Tesla. To see the enhancements made to my Tesla and how to update yours, please subscribe to the channel, and you can message me with suggestions or for help.
So over here with Kia. So this is what we're looking at. It'll be the great unveiling.
Welcome to the Kia Electric Experience. Great to see you all. My name's Matt, but let's get into it, because this is the star of the show tonight. Of course, this is the Niro EV, the fully electric version. You can tell, hello, because we have our charging port front and centre underneath the new two-tone closed grille. Other features you're going to want to look at when you come and have a look at the car close up are the new daytime running lights. We'll get those. Why they're called the heartbeat daytime running lights? Because they're shaped like a heartbeat, isn't it? Just talking about shy. These are all LED. Of course, the headlights are LED as well. Comes as standard, and the heartbeat design forms part of the indicator as well. Again, we'll show that to you in just a little bit if you want. I'm going to work my way round to the side of the car now. Now, you're all welcome to come with me down to the side, but feel free to stay in position. Of course, we'll give you a proper walk around shortly as well. Side profile, this is my favourite angle of the car. It's got a proper SUV stance there. 17-inch aerodynamic wheels that are exclusive to the EV model. We've gone with 17s because it's the perfect balance of ride comfort and of course rolling resistance, which is of course going to gain us that excellent range that we have. More on that to come. But I've got to get on to my favourite feature at the side here, the new Aero C-pillar. Has anyone spotted from where you're stood why it's called the Aero C-pillar? It's got a hole in it. It's got I call it a vent. But exactly, it's not just there to look great. We have a vent in the side of the C-pillar which is designed to help channel the airflow that comes down the side of the car through the vent, which speeds it up and smooths it out as it comes out of the back of the car. So again, helping improve, maximising that range, which is important to all of us. What you're also going to love as well, at the back of the C-pillar, when you come and have a closer look, the new boomerang LED taillights, they're integrated into the C-pillar. The attention to detail here is gorgeous actually, so please do have a good close look at it shortly. I'm going to show you the tailgate soon, we'll open it up in a bit. But we have a new feature to the tailgate that's come from EV6. Every time I opened the tailgate on the EV6 when I was on tour with it last year, all of the e-Niro owners said, I wish I had an electrified tailgate. We heard you, we delivered. It's fully electrified now. We'll open it up shortly, but it's not just the tailgate. The boot space has had a big jump as well. So we're at 475 litres in the EV now. Much bigger than before, but of course seats fold flat as well, so if anyone puts bikes in the back, or if you're loading up your boot like a lot of people have been over the last year or so, staycationing, holidaying in the UK, it's become a very popular thing. Plenty of boot space in the back for all of your luggage, but you'll all know what I'm talking about because you're EV drivers. In the past, having a full boot has proved an issue come charging time. Don't know what I'm getting at. Where are the cables? Underneath everything, aren't they? Which is the last thing you want to do. You want to open up the boot, you don't want to empty it out, get your cables, and then vice versa when you put it all away. So I've got a little surprise for you at the front when I finish up, but you're all going to guess exactly what I'm going to talk about, aren't you? Yeah. I'll still finish up with a little surprise. One last thing at the back here. If anyone's interested in towing, our towing capacity has gone up now. So EV can tow 750 kilos, the hybrids can tow 1,300 kilos, respectively as well. So I've got to get on to interior now because it's gorgeous in there. Wait till you see it inside. It is absolutely stunning. The list of advanced technology inside is as long as the car. It's as long as this room, to be fair. So I've picked out a few of my favourite features that I think is going to be relevant to everyone here tonight. Now, the first thing you're going to see when you jump in, the new seamless displays. Sort of the tech that we've pulled from the EV6, very similar style. So both screens in front of the driver now are both over 10 inches and they wrap around the driver. Digital driver's display, as you might expect now, of course, which is much clearer, crisper than before, but it's great to customise what you see when you're driving. Central display, really nice, easy to use infotainment system. Again, the latest software, again, that we used in the EV6, much easier to use, crisper, more responsive, when you're doing sat-nav and things like that, which is really nice. But at the heart of it all is Kia Connect. Now, do any of you use Kia Connect in your EV6s? Yeah, a few hands going up. Kia Connect is basically our online services. So if you're using any of the on-demand features through the infotainment system, typing in destinations into your sat-nav, over-the-air updates, that kind of thing, all comes through Kia Connect. You can also use Kia Connect on your smartphone as well. Great thing about that is that, for example, if it's a frosty morning, you can set the heating inside the car, or you can set the destination on the sat-nav so it's more relaxing when you get into the car. You can also fire over your playlists, which you'll want to do, by the way. We've got a Harman Kardon sound system inside here now. Feel free to crank it up a little bit when you have a look. It's a really nice system. I've had a little sample. Sounds great. As you might expect, I've seen you all on your phones. You're all on them there. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, both in there as standard, you'd be glad to know. Wireless charging, USB-C, of course. Again, you might expect that now. What I think you'll really like is the head-up display. Again, we pulled this tech from the EV6. You can get a little display in your windscreen so that you can see certain, important characteristics like your speedo, your rev counter. all habits die hard, don't they? Again, your battery range, sat-nav, you can see all of that sort of information on the head-up display, which is really nice. You can customise what you want to see as well, so it's not getting in the way whilst you're driving. You're also going to like the ambient lighting. Now again, if any of you have seen the ambient lighting in the EV6, this was a big hit on tour last year. We brought it across to the Niro. It looked amazing in there. You can customise all the ambient lighting to whatever colour you like. I think it's blue as standard. If you support Man United, you can turn it red. If you're fashion conscious, you can turn it whatever colour you want. You can match it to whatever you're wearing at the time. If you share the car with your partner as well, you can have custom setups, which is really nice. Other things you're going to like, apart from all the technology, which is fantastic, space. It's become really important. Of course, it's a proper family car, this. There's loads more space inside, more legroom, more headroom, and it's not just about us in the front as well. Loads more room in the back. The seats, both front seats are a lot thinner now, very similar to what we use in the EV6. You'll be amazed how much legroom's in there. So I was playing about with this earlier, got the car into a comfy driving position for me, went and sat behind my seat, and I had acres of legroom, loads of headroom as well. So please feel free to adjust the seats when you get in the car and have a look what we're talking about. There's loads of room. Plenty of technology in the back as well. 2 USB-Cs, which is taken from the EV6, and also This is a hint to one of my new features at the front. We have a 3-pin plug underneath the rear seats. Those of you that have an EV6 will know what I'm talking about. Anyone guessing? A few of you, yeah, I thought you might know. Right, let's go back to the front because I want to talk about powertrains. Of course, that's really important, of course, with electric cars. The previous car, the E Niro, had 2 battery sizes. We had the smaller battery and the larger 64 kilowatt hour battery. It's now, good news, big battery only. There is no small battery option. It's gone up a bit as well, it's now 64.8 kilowatt hours. Range-wise, anyone, quick guess? I reckon you'll see it, but it's actually, you spoiled my surprise, it's 287 is what our official number is, but having met quite a lot of E Niro drivers on tour with the EV6, I was finding out that people are hitting the 300 mark with the previous E Niro, so I do think we'll see some exciting figures to come out of this new one as well, actually. But we do have nice gas strips here. So we have a 20-litre frunk here, perfect for those times where you need to charge on the go, great big cables, and also, anyone know what this bad boy is? No naughty answers. Yes, I thought you'd all know what it is. It is, of course, the vehicle to load adapter. If anyone doesn't know what vehicle to load is, it basically turns your giant battery into a power bank. So we can plug that little adapter into our charging port here at the front, and it turns your car into a 3-pin outlet. So you can, for example, plug a microwave in. If you're camping, you can cook your dinner, you can charge electric bikes. If you've got a power cut at home, you can actually run an extension out to the car, power up your TVs and all that kind of stuff, cook your dinner. The list is endless of what you can do with it. I can go on online about that. It's quite a cool feature. And that links in with when I said there's a 3-pin socket under the rear seats as well. So great if you're putting an electric bike in the back of the car, you can charge it up on your way as well. We're going to open up the car now for you for the next sort of 10-15 minutes. Is that right, guys? If you want to hold back specific questions on the car, because after 10-15 minutes, Dan and Tom are going to do a Q&A session with everyone regarding the car, and I think a few other bits and pieces as well. That all sound good to everyone? Yeah. Excellent, right, I'm going to get out of your way.
Daniel Sales, I'm Head of Press and Public Relations here at Kia UK, and I'm very happy to welcome you here all to Kia UK headquarters in sunny Walton-on-Thames. From here, we manage Kia UK business and work in partnership with our 192 strong dealer network to launch and deliver our range of award-winning products to UK customers. Some of our latest and greatest electrified products you'll be seeing here tonight. Firstly, I wanted to say it's a great honour to greet you all here this evening. Thank you all for coming and making the trip to join us for our very first Electrified Communities event. We are genuinely very grateful to have the opportunity to meet and interact with influential EV and Kia community leaders in person.
Looking at electrification more generally, a third of our sales last year were also electrified. That's again hybrid, plug-in hybrid and fully electric. I'm not including mild hybrid in this. And all the new cars that you see here this evening, Soul, EV6 and the Niro, are all going to be boosting this further, accelerating it even further. In fact, in 2021, the E Niro was the UK's second best-selling EV, behind only the Tesla Model 3. So that just shows just how important this car is to us. Furthermore, with the arrival of the EV6 over there in the corner, we've also launched the Sportage plug-in hybrid, making, well, now our UK lineup is 10 electrified vehicles, making us giving us one of the most comprehensive lineups of any manufacturer selling here in the UK today. Looking ahead though to 2027, by then, Kia plans to offer a range of 14 EVs globally. Not all of them may come here, but that's the overall plan. It's an ambitious plan. We also have an ambitious sales plan to match. And by 2030, the aim globally, again, is to sell 1.2 million electric vehicles worldwide. Europe is at the forefront of efforts to electrify road transport, and the UK is Kia's #1 market in Europe. So we have a global European and UK product plan, to make Kia effectively a leading producer of sustainable electrified vehicles. underpinning all these cars, all the cars you see here today, a couple of the cars that you guys have driven here today as well, is our latest technology and almost a decade of EV expertise. You may have noticed many manufacturers are now launching their first electric vehicles, first generation electric vehicles. But here this evening you've got a second generation Soul EV and very soon the second generation Niro EV. Electric Global Modular Platform, or EGMP as we call it. The next vehicle that we will spin off this same platform, same technology, is the EV9, which 2 weeks ago I think we confirmed for sale in Europe and the UK. Happily, can't wait to launch it. Other electric vehicles will be derivatives within a wider lineup. So the Niro is one of those. It's sitting alongside hybrid and plug-in hybrid versions, and there will be various other EVs on the way that follow that same pattern. On top of that, in 2025 we'll also start production of our first electric vehicles here in Europe itself at our plant in Slovakia in a place called Žilina. Ultimately, by 2035, the plan is for every single Kia sold in Europe to be fully electric.
First of all, thank you all so much for coming. I'm so glad I got to see you in person finally. And so I know a lot of you have submitted some questions, so we'll go through some of the questions. And if you have any follow-ups after, you're welcome to let us know after.
Well, thanks, Jumana, for letting me ask the questions. The first question I want to ask is Kia going to bring out a smaller EV than what we have presently?
In short, I'll say it's likely. Obviously the EGMP platform, which the EV6 and EV9 will have, is highly scalable, so it has the ability to house smaller EVs and bigger EVs like the EV9. But you may remember that we confirmed our EGMP EV naming strategy, which was EV1 to 9. So if you look at EV6 and then you look at EV9, you can start to see between what might be small and what might be big. And of course there's 9 EGMP vehicles on that. But one thing I can confirm this evening is that in Europe we will start producing a smaller EV at our Slovakian plant in 2025. But that's about as far as I can go for now. That's a bit of a while away.
Any projected cost on that?
I can't even confirm the cost of that. Let alone, I don't even know what. Anyway, yeah, so I hope that answers your question for that one.
Can we hear more about the EV9 and other future small EVs using a dedicated EGMP platform?
So Dan's covered the smaller EV side of things. As far as the EV9 goes, so as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we said it's coming to Europe, it's coming to the UK. So yeah, it's confirmed for production. It's going to have the EGMP platform, so that will mean rapid charging, similar to the EV6, and again long distance driving range. I think we've confirmed recently in a press release that the 10 to 80% charging time, you plug it in at my Ionity point or something similar, it'd be about 6 minutes, 10 to 80%. Sorry, 6 minutes, 20 minutes. My bad, it's 6 minutes to get 100 kilometers of range. That's what it is. I remember it now, I've got it here. So yeah, so it's on the way. Again, EGMP, all of the cars that we launch on that platform will be based EV6, 9, 1, 2, 3, etc, etc.
So you're not taking deposits for the EV4 tonight?
I'm afraid not. If you want to write a blank check to Tom Richards, then we're from there.
Do you have any plans for a small EV van?
An EV van, well, as part of our future strategy, of course we've announced the introduction of purpose-built vehicles. These vehicles are built for a specific business use, so let's say inner city deliveries or country deliveries or anything, anything like that, and they'll be built on a scalable platform, scalable skateboard platform, so they can basically be anything you want them to be or perform whatever function you need. And obviously can vary in size. The one, I can't really say what's coming first or what it will look like or anything like that, but I can say to you this evening that the first purpose-built vehicle will come globally in 2025, the same as the European EV production. So 2025 is a pretty big year for us.
Do you take all the feedback you get from customers and then act on it?
What we do say, we take into account feedback from all of our customers. If we get widespread set of comments, that's normally something that we can feed up the chain. I mean, something that's pointed out with the new Niro EV power tailgate, for instance, is something that customers have been clamouring for a couple of years. So finally glad that we can able to offer it. Same with the front, for instance. So we do listen, but yeah, that's about as much as we can say at this point.
This is the big question everybody would like to know. Will the Niro EV have over-the-air updates like Tesla has, and not just have the facility for navigation and also for the infotainment system?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by full, but I'll answer what I know.
So not just infotainment, like Tesla. So you can have features,
yeah.
tweak the suspension, whatever.
That's what I thought you might mean, which was frustrating because I don't know the answer to that. However, I can give you some value, I hope. So over-the-air updates, sort of fully functioning on a Kia scale, will arrive this year, and on some models as early as May, so next month. But they will, as you rightly say, they will focus on navigation and infotainment for now. That's about as much as I can give you at the moment, because obviously we're still working through it, and this is in complete partnership with our European headquarters, because they run all of those digital services for us. So as one market, we can't confer anything further than that. So sorry I couldn't answer your question fully, but there's something.
What are the current expected delivery dates in the UK for the EV6 GT, and its price confirmed yet?
So first customer deliveries are going to be around November, December this year. That's when we plan to introduce the car for sale in the UK. We'll be delivering to those customers who hopefully have pre-ordered. Among the first to pre-order the car, those will be the priority orders that we deliver. If you signed up for the price that was advertised on the site at the time, we will honour that. If you order a new car, if you go to a Kia dealer tomorrow and order a new EV6 GT, it'll be $59,995. I think it was slightly less than that if you pre-ordered it last year sometime. But yeah, you don't have too much longer to wait now. Trust me, I can't wait till we go in either. Okay.
What is the nature of the relationship between Kia UK, Kia Europe and Kia HMG in Korea? Do you have any input in producing the development specifications, and how do you decide which specifications to offer in the UK market?
Alrighty, well, I'll firstly say that Kia globally is actually quite a tight-knit sort of community. We have our strongest ties with Kia Europe, but we also have very strong ties with the global team from a research and development perspective, but we also have R&D centres in Europe and in the States as well, and they develop various cars depending on if they're a global or a European car. So a lot of our communication is almost constant, but it's also certainly a two-way thing. They listen to us and they give us instructions. That's kind of the way it is, but that we can't operate without them and vice versa. So that's an equal mutual feeling there. In terms of UK market specification, we base it off of customer feedback, sales data, which that's quite a key one. If you're not going to sell a certain grade, well, as you continue with it or adapt it. And we do a hell of a lot of work into market analysis, such as competitor pricing, and what other brands are doing, especially on the EV element of things, because you've got battery sizes and you've got pricing, and then you've got grants to think about, and blah 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 blah. So the UK specification is basically led by those three key groups.
This is interesting for the batteries. What does Kia think is the optimum balance of battery electrical vehicles between charge speed, capacity and cost?
That goes into working out what kind of works. I would say there's no one size fits all approach. We've got EV6 over there, 7.4 kilowatt hour, but also available in other European markets. Like the 58 kilowatt hour battery, depending on the market needs. Niro EV 64 kilowatt hour. We've also offered a 39.2 kilowatt hour battery. So it's fairly complicated. As I said, there's no one size fits all approach. It does depend on the segment, the kind of customers we're targeting. But we tend to tailor each vehicle according to what we think customers will go for. Considerations can include battery capacity, but also recharging technology, recharging time. If you've got a car that's designed for more use on the motorway, for instance, you might want to have the faster charging technology that we offer in EV6. Also just vehicle size. I mean, Niro EV, Soul EV, they're both slightly similar sized cars, certainly as far as the battery pack is concerned, but the EV6 long wheelbase can accommodate a much bigger battery. So there's a few things at play here. I think for us, what we try to do with all of our cars is make sure that they are still attainable. They're still a Kia. We're not going for a massively sort of over premium positioning. We are going for something that meets the needs of as many buyers as possible, and that's an approach that served us really well over the years. And we're going to continue with that.
Is Kia becoming a premium brand, or is that role reserved for the Genesis? And what does this mean for product development and customer service?
Electrification, it's a great leveler of brands. We've gone for decades of the Golf, for instance. It's challenging to compete with the new products in the scene, for instance. But EVs, there's no hinterland behind that. It does give us the chance to reposition ourselves slightly. We've done that on a fairly wide-scale basis with a new brand, for instance. And with that, cars like the EV6, and hopefully you get that from the Niro EV, we're moving a little bit up market. We're not getting too big for our boot, should we say. We're not going for premium positioning though. That's definitely something that's reserved for Genesis under the Hyundai Motor Group banner. As I just mentioned, we're going for the volume manufacturer approach. We still want to be attainable, achievable, something that more people can aspire to than simply targeting Mercedes now. That's right.
What is Kia's plans for zero emissions vehicles? Is it electric, or are they looking at other fuels?
Well, it's fairly clear at the moment that Kia is completely focused on electrification. You can see that here today. You can see that in our mid to long term strategy, product, but also services. And by 2035 we'll be fully electric. However, globally and in Korea, we have huge investment in R&D capabilities, and that's focused on electrification and has been probably for the last 10 years or so. However, within our wider HMG capability and sort of breadth of research is expertise in fuel cell technology. Now, that obviously at the moment has almost zero infrastructure in the UK and globally, but in Korea there are Kias, fuel cell Kias driving around, not new ones. It's called the Mojave fuel cell car, and then obviously Hyundai have the Nexo, and that's all part of our wider group family. But essentially at the moment it's electrification. But I'm pretty sure our engineers are working on things that we probably don't even know exist yet.
Will the Niro EV charge at higher charge rate speeds, for example 50 kilowatts, for longer compared to the outgoing model, and can it be charged to 100% without any concern?
A bit of a dichotomy here. We've got a car where we've actually reduced the peak charging speed from 77 kilowatts to 72 kilowatts, but we've also changed the charging profile of the car. So the idea is you can charge at those peak speeds for longer than you can in the current car. So if you plug in a 100 kilowatt charger in the existing car, it takes about 54 minutes, 10 to 80%. The new car will do that same charge in 43 minutes, so 11 minutes quicker. So we've adapted it slightly just to make sure that it does charge a bit quicker. That charging profile is a lot flatter, so you do get slightly higher charging speeds for slightly longer.
What's the battery chemistry?
I don't know that off the top of my head. Sorry.
If it's a CATL battery, which I think it is, does that lead to the Andy's question, also was, can you not worry about charging it to 100% all the time? That's key.
So our understanding is that the 100% charging thing, what we quote as the usable capacity, so 64.8 kilowatt hours is the usable capacity. There's a little bit on top of that, which means you do have that scope to charge it to 100%. We'd hope you're not going to be charging it to 100% for long, you're actually getting in and driving it as well. So yeah, that's...
What's that overnight?
Sorry?
You just plug it in and leave it overnight or last the whole week?
Yeah,
Can
absolutely.
you just leave it to 100% without any damage?
I believe so. We'd say that on all of our cars, I believe so. Yeah.
That really comes down to what chemistry it is. That's why I ask, because there's two different chemistries from my understanding, and one of them is that you can charge it to 100%, not worry about it, and it's less efficient in the cold.
I'd say off the top of
And
my
the
head,
other
I'm
is
not
that you can
entirely sure what the
be
chemistry
restricted
is.
to charging it really to about 80 or 90%, but it's less effective by the car.
Yeah, understood. I mean, so I don't know what the battery chemistry is off the top of my head, I'm afraid, so I couldn't
It's different
give you
so
such.
whether the car stops it.
Yeah.
It tells you it's having a it's not working.
Yeah,
I think the other thing is, so the infotainment system on the cars, they do let you set a charging maximum in there, for instance. So if you are at all concerned about that, you can set a maximum. I think it's set on the Kia Charge app as well, and the cars as well. So it's, you do have scope to set an upper sort of limit, should we say.
So what would you as a manufacturer recommend be that limit that you should for charging max?
I'm afraid not.
80%
10 to
or
80% is a pretty good gauge just for charging efficiency as much as anything else. I'm not too technically minded, so I couldn't possibly comment on whether you should leave a car at 100% for too long or too short. So I'm not entirely sure on that point, I'm afraid.
You've got the vehicle to load tech on it.
Correct.
Is there a vehicle to home option?
Not at the moment. It is a bi-directional system.
Is that still limited to 3 kilowatt, or will that be?
I think it's 3.3 kilowatt. So it's similar. It takes some of the technology from the EV6. Obviously, it doesn't have 800 volt charging, but it does have that.
Is EV6 limited to 3.3? Is that still?
Yes, correct. Yeah, it's a household, similar to household voltage.
Right.
So you can plug in. I mean, I've seen people a couple of people have had an EV6 or an Ioniq 5 recently with power cuts, for instance, and they've been able to plug in their freezer overnight just to keep everything working because it runs off that same. Yeah, well, depends on your power output, I suppose. But yeah.
what about battery preconditioning technology? Does Kia have any plans for the future of Niro EV?
Yes, is the simple answer. Starting with the EV6, actually, every model, every EV6 model is actually equipped with battery heating already via the winter mode. Obviously, that doesn't bring it up to the 20 degrees of 150 kilowatt charging. However, we are currently working on navigation-led battery preconditioning, and that will be certainly available in the near future. When exactly, we don't know, but as soon as we have that information, you will be one of the first to know via Jemima, I'm sure. But yeah, that's all I can say on that, if I'm honest.
What is the price going to be of the Niro EV?
We do know, and you'll be told on April the 20th.
Oh, so we're not going to, you're keeping us in suspense?
I'm afraid so. If I told you that now, I'd probably leave here for the first time, for the last time, sorry.
When is it going to be released?
Oh, in terms of deliveries?
Yes.
We're probably looking at sort of, think about this, mid Q3, I would say.
Thank you very much.
All right.
As you see, there's a lot of leg room under here. I cannot move it. Look, I mean, I can't, my feet are not touching the ground. And I'm 5'8", which means that there's going to be a lot of space when you go under the speed bumps. You're not going to have a problem getting squashed in, bang underneath your suspension.
Okay, Mal, get in. Get in the boot.
Get in the boot.
Do you fit?
Here we go, in the boot. That's about the max.
Side in.
Sliding. Bye everyone. See you next time.
Mal's back, talking Tesla.
Thanks for watching Mal's Back Talking Tesla. You've joined over 1,000 followers worldwide, so don't miss out on the fun. Subscribe now. It's free.